it was supposed to be just another morning jog. The mist clung low to the sidewalks of rural Oregon, the trees dripping from the night's rain, and the world was still rubbing the sleep from its eyes. Clara Reynolds, a 31-year-old elementary school teacher with a heart as open as the sky, laced her sneakers and stepped outside, the rhythm of her steps syncing with the soft chirps of waking birds. She wasn't looking for anything extraordinary. Just fresh air, peace, and a little distance from the ache of her recent breakup. She was about to round the corner onto Maple Hollow Road when she heard it. A whimper. Faint, broken, desperate. Clara stopped. She strained to hear it again over her own heartbeat. Then it came, clearer this time, a terrified yelp followed by a guttural growl, and the rustle of something moving in the underbrush near the tree line. Without thinking, Clara climbed down the ditch and pushed through the wet bramble. Her heart raced, half from fear, half from instinct. And then she saw her. A tiny puppy, mud-caked, trembling, her paw twisted at an unnatural angle, pinned beneath a broken tree branch. Her eyes locked onto Clara's, pleading but cautious, too weak to move, too scared to bark again. Clara didn't hesitate. She gently lifted the branch, cradled the puppy in her hoodie, and whispered soft words of comfort, unaware that this single act of kindness would change her life forever and shake a quiet town to its core. Clara named the pup Willow. A vet visit confirmed what Clara feared: a fractured leg, signs of malnourishment, and a belly full of parasites. But worse than that, the vet, an old friend named Dr. Hayes, looked grim when he said, "Clara, this puppy didn't get like this on her own. I think she was abandoned. Or worse, she escaped something." That night, Willow wouldn't stop crying. Every loud noise sent her into fits of shaking. Clara curled up on the floor with her, tears slipping silently down her cheeks, wondering how any human could be so cruel. But the real mystery unfolded 2 days later. Clara had been walking Willow near the same woods, this time with a harness and more caution. The little pup, though limping, was eager to sniff the trail. Then, without warning, Willow stiffened, ears perked. A moment later, she bolted toward the trees, dragging Clara behind her. Something had caught her attention, and Clara quickly realized it wasn't a squirrel. Peering through the brush, Clara gasped. 7 pairs of eyes stared back at her. Puppies. Older, scruffier, dirtier, but clearly from the same litter. They were huddled together in a makeshift den made of cardboard, sticks, and a tarp, scared, but alive. And they didn't run. Instead, they waited. Watching Clara. Watching Willow. Then something astonishing happened. Willow barked. Just once. Short. High-pitched. And the pack came forward. Clara could barely believe it. It was like Willow had told them it was safe. Getting them all out wasn't easy. It took hours of patience, cans of wet dog food, and Clara crawling through mud more than once. But she managed. Every last one. She brought them home, cleaned them, fed them, and gave them names: Bear, Luna, Stitch, Echo, Maple, Thor, and Tiny. She called them the Miracle Pack. And in a way, they were. Because as she began to care for them, something began to shift in Clara, too. The weight of her heartbreak? Lighter. The loneliness? Quieter. The hole in her chest? Smaller. But the story doesn't end there. Because the real shock came when she tried to find them homes. Clara posted photos and stories online. The response was overwhelming: hundreds of likes, shares, and messages. But one message stood out. It was from a woman named Rose in a neighboring town who worked with an underground animal rescue network. She wrote, "I think you just found part of the Rainwood Ring. We've been tracking illegal backyard breeders in your area for months. The puppies you found match the markings of litters we've seen sold online under fake names. You didn't just save these dogs, Clara. You might have just blown the lid off something huge." Clara's world tilted. With Rose's help, and later, law enforcement, they traced the location where the puppies had likely escaped from. It was a rundown property tucked miles off the road, masked by thick woods. What they found was horrifying: cages stacked on top of each other, sick dogs locked in filth, and signs that others had died there. The place was shut down. The breeder arrested. And it all started with one act of compassion. In the weeks that followed, the story went viral. News stations showed up. Interviews followed. Clara, the quiet schoolteacher with no background in activism, was suddenly the face of hope for hundreds of rescued dogs. Donations poured in, enough for her to partner with Rose and open a rehabilitation and rehoming center, Willow's Haven. Each of the puppies found loving homes, some with veterans needing service dogs, others with families who'd lost everything and found healing in the loyalty of a rescued soul. But one puppy stayed with Clara. Willow, of course. Because sometimes, you don't choose your family. They find you in the mud, beneath a branch, whimpering. And they change everything. As the screen fades to black, Clara's voice plays over soft piano music. I thought I was saving her. But the truth is, Willow saved me first. And she brought an army of love with her. You never know how far a single act of kindness will ripple. So if you ever hear a cry in the dark, don't turn away. Follow it. You might be walking straight into your purpose.